Trigger warning. In this video, a white cisgender woman, psychotherapist, nutritionist, personal trainer, PhD, is going to eat milk chocolate very calmly, without anxiety about gaining weight, eating wrong food, and spiking her blood glucose. No, it's not cheat day. No, it's not PMS. I'm just eating chocolate. Just because I can. The world is not falling apart. I'm still alive. It's milk chocolate. Not even dark. In this video, I'm going to explain you how I do it, how I eat chocolate and stay in shape, how I eat chocolate without anxiety, without freaking out. And this video may cause sudden cravings for life free from food anxiety. Let's talk about 10 points that help me to eat chocolate without anxiety and stay in shape. First, I'm eating from a calm, regulated place. This is not stress eating. This is very important. If I'm stressed, if I'm anxious, worried, tired, it's better not, I have a rule to try and not to eat, not to try and calm myself down with food, unless really necessary. I have a toolkit of other self-regulating strategies apart from food. Sometimes it can be food, but more often than not, first I come back into balanced, present state. I make myself feel good and calm again. And then I decide whether I eat chocolate or ice cream or whatever or not. This is very important, that I can eat whatever I want, but when I am in a calm state. My nervous system is not activated. I'm not in a fight or flight mode. I'm in a rest and digest mode, and I make conscious decisions. Second, when I eat sweets, chocolate, cake, whatever, I'm fully present. I savor every piece and I notice all the nuances of the taste of flavor. I enjoy the taste. Yes, it's allowed to enjoy the taste. It's allowed to eat food because it's tasty. So let's take chocolate. I'm not eating it on autopilot, I'm fully present. I notice creaminess, deep cocoa notes. What else? Velvet, yeah, it's a very good word that describes this chocolate. I have dark chocolates too. I really like this Waitrose one in terms of price and quality. A lot of my clients say that it's very hard for them not to watch something when they have dinner, not to switch on YouTube or Netflix. They prefer their food with some other sensory stimulations. And this is okay. If you still can be present with your food, then it's okay to sometimes eat with YouTube on. That it doesn't end up with eating a tub of ice cream without even noticing it. This is what's important. But of course, in ideal world, we want to switch everything off, to chew slowly, to put fork and spoon and knife on the plate between bites, and fully enjoy your meal. Third, what else helps me? I know I will not binge. I know I will stop in time. I will not abuse the food. Because I have built self-trust and self-regulation skills through months of practice and psychotherapy. Yeah, psychotherapists also have their own psychotherapists apart from supervision, and I worked on it. And self-regulation is a skill. And although there are some theories and protocols with self-regulation techniques, working with clients, I noticed that self-regulation is really individual, and it's important to personalize self-regulation techniques. What can self-regulation include? Tolerating certain emotions, maybe tolerating discomfort, maybe noticing your emotions, noticing your states, reframing, restructuring your thoughts, your ideas. This is a very complex story. In my opinion, this should be highly personalized. How I self-regulate. What do I do when I crave food? First, I know that when I crave food, when I'm not hungry, and this is psychological hunger, emotional hunger, not physical, I stop. I stop and turn my gaze inwards. I start listening to myself. What's going on? What's wrong? What needs are unmet? Where is the discomfort coming from? And for me, this very often can be fatigue, need for rest and recovery. It can be pressure on myself to do some job, to do some work I don't want to do, or to do something fast, or to do something good enough. And it can be self-attacking, negative thoughts and feelings towards myself. I also worked on it in therapy to get rid of these self-attacking patterns. This is something that everyone can get rid of, unless there is some really deep trauma, which needs to be addressed separately, not in talking therapy. And when I know that I can self-regulate without food and do it again and again and again, I build self-trust. And when I trust myself, I can calmly open a block of chocolate and not worry that I will eat the whole thing. Or take a tub of ice cream from the freezer, have a couple of spoons and put it back. And when I'm in the shop, I would not worry, I would not think twice before buying it. Will I eat the whole tub? Will I binge again or not? I know that I know moderation, but this wasn't like that all my life, because I also had eating disorder, and for me it was impossible to store chocolate in the cupboard or ice cream in the freezer. Sooner or later, probably the same day or the next day, I would devour everything as soon as I have a binge episode. And now I have a lot of chocolate in my cupboard, and it can stay there for weeks, and I can manage without chocolate. Fourth, if I did overeat, I would not shame or punish myself. Overeating happens. We need to be ready for it. If you have such tendencies, patterns, your task is to reduce overeating, but not 100% get rid of it. And why it's important? Because if we eat an extra piece of chocolate we didn't plan and start worrying about it, start shaming ourselves about it, our nervous system gets activated, we register it as threat, and when there is threat and nervous system activation, what do we want? To calm down, to self-soothe. How do we self-soothe? With chocolate. 5. If I did overeat and if I gained 50 grams of fat, because you know that to gain 1 kilogram of fat, you need to overeat 7,700 calories. So to eat on top of your daily energy needs. 7,700 calories, that's a lot. So if it happened, so I went to a restaurant, there was nice food, I overdid it in calories a lot. Next day I will gain 2 kilograms on scale. But this is water and glycogen. This is not fat. Yes, maybe I gained fat. Yes, I overate this, laid down as fat. But if we use the 7,700 calories rule, I gain 50 grams of fat. How catastrophic it is? Not at all. I also know that I can lose it. I can take actions to intentionally lose weight. It can be healthy as well, and it's a really good skill to be able to lose a little bit of weight when you need so. So trust in yourself that you can lose weight when it's needed is invaluable. And this is what I work on with my clients as well. 6. I'm calm when I eat chocolate because being lean is a preference, not a requirement. Looking good, being lean is very important for me. More important maybe than for other people because of my, this is how I was growing up. Maybe this is not very healthy, but it used to be a requirement. When I was 20, when I was in my 20s, I'm either lean or I'm not valuable. I'm either lean or I'm not deserving of love. I'm either lean or I'm not acceptable. I'm either lean or I will be rejected. So emotionally charged it was. Being lean equaled being alive. It was existential problem. And of course, this didn't help. This ended up in eating disorder. So with my clients, before getting on diet, starting to intentionally lose weight, we first build unconditional self-acceptance, self-worth, and self-compassion. And only from this place, doesn't matter if I'm minus 10 kilogram or plus 10 kilogram, 20, 30, 50 kilograms, I'm worthy, I'm acceptable, I'm valuable. Only from this psychological place, it's worth going into dieting again. 7. If there was no chocolate around, I would be fine. I can decide and not eat chocolate just because I don't need chocolate. Why? Why should I have chocolate every day? I shouldn't. I don't have to. I don't have to. Chocolate is a want. It's not a need. But if we say no to chocolate, if it's prohibited, if we limit chocolate, then you know what? We will be hyper-focused on chocolate most of the time. Sometimes saying no to foods make us forget about these foods, but it can have an opposite effect. Saying no, being afraid of food, actually make us want it more. I also experienced that when I wanted something particular, this particular chocolate, only this ice cream would go, and if I don't have it, it will be chasing me days and days and days, and I will be thinking about it. Of course, not only restrictions cause such intense craving for certain foods. It can be life context in general. What's going on in my life? What is unpleasant? Maybe it's relationships with myself. Maybe it's some general life context. Maybe it's lack of self-actualization. Maybe I don't feel valuable in my job. Maybe I have abusive relationships. What's that? What is that we're running away from into food? 8. I have unconditional permission to eat. You probably have heard of it. This is sort of scientific term from intuitive eating. Well, scientific to extent, useful to extent, but it's important to know that I can eat whatever, whenever, and I will not feel guilty. I will not feel shame. I will not feel terrible about myself. And eating whatever I want, whenever I want, doesn't mean I must eat everything all the time. This is not unconditional permission to eat, eating anything and everything you see. Unconditional permission to eat means you will not punish yourself for having something unnecessary. or for wanting something unhealthy, or for wanting something in their own time, wanting a snack between lunch and dinner because you're hungry. 9. Because my insulin sensitivity is more or less good, I know that eating a chocolate or two may spike my blood sugar, and so what? This is not clinically meaningful. It will not harm me. Yes, there can be a spike. Yes, it may go down quickly. And so what? The problems begin if you're not insulin sensitive, if you're insulin resistant, if you are close to pre-diabetes, diabetes, then yes, then you need to worry about how you manipulate your blood sugar level. Otherwise, please disregard, ignore, don't think about it. Think about something more important in life. And 10, you can drink a little bit of alcohol, get a little bit tipsy, and then anxiety will calm down and you can eat whatever you want without anxiety. Of course, this is a joke. I hope this video was useful for you. I hope you felt a desire to live life without food anxiety. So I would like to invite you to work with me in psychotherapy, to work on your relationships with food, which actually always is indicative of your relationships with yourself. And your relationships with yourself is the foundation of your mental health and well-being. And now a question to you. Do you remember the first time you ate a forbidden food and the world didn't end? What was it? What was that food? Please share your experience, because this can be really therapeutic for other people who would read comments, who is still in this restriction binge cycle, in chronic dieting phases. And yeah, let's work towards food freedom, because it's important that you control food and food does not control you. Subscribe to this channel because it helps you not only to lose weight but build better relationships with yourself. Share with everyone who could benefit from this video, and I'll see you soon.